I'll tell you the thing about AMS, what gets me, right? It's not like the band what they've been allocated is actually in use for anything other than for them to yap to one another. You know what I mean? I'm G3189 in here, come in, fucking G3, whatever, and they just talk to each other, but there's no reason for that band to be regulated in that way, because it's not like there's mountain rescue or it's an essential band for, you know what I'm saying? It's not for no authorities use it, and so really you can just compare that to CB band. It's just a band what is used by amateur radio operators.
CB's used by
CBers, and therefore I just feel that there's a load of hypocrisy surrounding amateur radio operators, and I just can't understand why they think there's such a big gap between themselves, the AMs, above the CBers, when in reality they're doing exactly the same thing.
And you're right in the middle of them, aren't you? You have your hams up here and your CBers down here, but you've been hybrid.
Like
well, I don't put myself in no hierarchy. I'm just same as any other man, but like I said, I just think it's a bit, you know, it's kettle calling pot black, isn't it? You know, they're on a band, yapping to one another. They're not allowed to swear and all that. They're not allowed to put no political views across. It's just like robotic responses. Whereas the CB band, you can be passionate. You can speak with passion and from your heart. And if that means to say a swear word,
fair play, you can swear.
You can swear, you know what I mean?
But you've got that facility to be able to swear, haven't you, in person? You know
I mean, we're all adults, end of the day.
You've got I call it free flow. Free-flowing communication. It's a lot more relaxed on CB, innit, compared to an AM band.
You're not filtering your conversation before it comes to your mouth.
You're not thinking what you are thinking what you're saying, but you're not holding back of anything, like thinking, oh no, I can't say that because of that, or there's no one governing you, there's nobody watching or listening to what you're saying.
That's it, Colin.
You know what I mean?
And why? You know, why does that band need to be regulated?
Why should
can somebody explain to me? Just so that you know, I suppose it's to identify operators, but you tell me there's nobody on CB who you can't identify.
The governed.
I know who's keen up, I know when you're keen up, yeah.
The word is the governed.
It's governed, yeah, by a set of rules.
It's controlled, it's a controlled radio environment.
So I suppose the question I'm getting into is why? Why is there an industry regulating something for a set of amateurs?
A set of amateurs, right? But who's better off?
The CBer.
The CBer, because he's got free flow communication. He can talk about he wants to talk about on that radio.
Now I'm going to come back full circle now, because I'm going to come back now and give me arguments for it being regulated.
The reasons why.
We've discussed my problem with said Pedro. Now, I can understand that if we were in an AM environment that this wouldn't happen, and that as a rogue CB, let's say,
a bandit station,
wouldn't be able to
cause this sort of
unlimited power.
Yeah,
you know, I can get that aspect, but as for for example, a CB going on to AM band and saying anybody for a Roger, and to be ignored, I just find that. I just can't. That's just beyond human.
Yeah, I
know. You know. Yeah. It's beyond human. Basic human.
Right.
You know how you treat others, like human.
Respect.
No, human respect.
Human respect.
Just basic human respect. Hello.
Hello.
A passionate street. Good morning, Colin.
How you doing?
Good morning. You won't just look other way and
ignore you.
It's just exactly the same.
You'd accept. You'd
say hello, good morning. At very least.
Yeah. You would do. Yeah.
It's easier to say good morning than look other way, isn't it?
It's easier to say, alright, I'll pay you alright.
Yeah.
Rather than think, oh, I'm not really going to talk to him.
And pretend I can't hear you.
Yeah, so you've got to talk to him, haven't you? You've got to be right with Pedro, because he's your radio neighbour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Obviously, you don't like what he's doing with his power, right? But who are you to say who plugs something in your house?
Hey,
you know, that's his house. If he wants to plug something in, he can plug it in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At the end of the
Fair
day, I ain't subscribed to no regulated.
You've got no licence.
And neither has Peter.
You're operating on a band that has no licence.
And I'm operating within
Right.
my limits.
And you're operating within the limits, right? Because you're respecting other radio users around you, because you're in a high place and you know you're high up.
Yeah.
You're like on a CB pedestal. I call it a CB pedestal. This area is on a CB pedestal, meaning that it's high up, and anywhere you go from Upton, you go down an hill. And he's high up, he's probably highest place. Highest village round here. Highest village round here.
25-30 mile radius, yeah.
For 55
and going to coast, I don't think I think it's highest point to you actually hit the sea.
There's nothing to stop you talking to coast, you know what I mean? So 9 times out of 10, if you're on East Coast in Yorkshire, right, and you've got somebody in Upton who's on a decent setup like Pawson, right, the chances of you having a rigging car and being able to hear Pawson on East Coast, i.e. Bridlington, Scarborough, Cleethorpes, Skegness, is quite high. You know what I mean? Upton breakers generally do get out, especially in this area where Pawson is. So, you know, Pawson's running for what, right? But he knows where he is. So if Pawson decides to put loads of power on, he's going to start knobbing everybody off over at Mexborough. Donny, people are going to get annoyed, aren't they? Because you're going to be wiping the local stations.
Can I just interrupt you there, Colin? Yeah. Well, I think point Colin's trying to make here is the CB band regulates its sen, and there's common courtesy among man that, you know, apart from said Pedro, I think we've all got a common courtesy. If somebody's having a conversation and you're running power, you'd switch your power off if you were running power. Or you'd give way, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you key down, you don't key up.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean. You let him come through. You know what I mean.
And I don't think that you need to go and take a ticket for that, do you? I think
not
it's
really, no.
It's you know, it's just a common thing among man.
Yeah, it's you know, it's just
courtesy.
Courtesy, yeah.
Courtesy, not, you know what I mean.
Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry.